Yeah, this and you know, trying to put in words what you seen yesterday. It was it was some crazy ass shit. I ain't gonna hold you. Crazy, crazy, crazy shit. I like that game, Buffalo game happened in the 90s. Right? So a lot of people can't even really remember that shit. You feel me? I mean, the only thing we saw something like this, last year, the Bengals came back on the Chiefs. That was major because it was in the AFC Championship game. And then Tom Brady, what he did to Atlanta, coming back from 25 down, that's major. So I guess motherfuckers think like, yeah, you could still, if you tighten shit up, you could kind of come back when you down a dub or a quarter. Man, ain't no fucking way in hell you supposed to be able to come back and you down 30-30. Basically mean the game over. We done. We just ain't have it today. And that's how, when you watching the game, you like, yeah, I guess the Vikings don't have that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that shit. So they get the ball. First possession in that second half. They like, man, we ain't no fucking field goals. We need touchdowns and shit. And they kind of gave people an idea of when they turn that shit on, they fucking offense, they is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now the only team, Dallas fucked them up. Eagles fucked them up. So they probably gonna see them boys again. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs, they gonna definitely see them again or whatever. And it's gonna be, it ain't gonna be no blowout though. I think those games gonna be closer. Now the only team is like San Fran's physical ass defense with their offense. I think that might be a bad matchup for them. But they did play them a couple of years back in the playoffs, so they might see them. But that was a whole different offense, whole different crew as far as coaching staff. So this time it might be something different. But you see, they got Hawkinson for the tight end. You got Cook. You got you got JJ, and then you got you normally got Thielen, but now they got Osborne, so now they got another dude they can slide in, and he gonna get one-on-ones because JJ gonna get the safety on his side, and like they just completely had the coach like probably even they in their heads, you like looking at the scoreboard, you see them keep scoring 7, and our team they just going 3 and out. They might get one first down, and then kick, punt the ball off to them. Yeah, it was a straight up win, too though. It wasn't no fluke shit, no questionable penalty, none of that shit. That shit was just a straight up and down. We spot your ass fucking 30, and we gonna walk your ass fucking down in front of the whole world. You feel me? The whole fucking world seen that shit, and it was like, goddamn, these motherfucking offense is like that. They offense is up there. You gonna put them up there. You could say KC offense, Buffalo offense. These boys offense is up there. Like as far as high powered, like they could give it to you. And like I guess if they just say, look, we gonna get the win and shit. They knew they wanted to win the division. And I guess sometimes it could be a situation where you you facing somebody and you just like, man, they not better than us. You get what I'm saying? Like I could get losing, and sometimes you could lose to a team, but I'm not losing no motherfucking Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan ain't doing shit. He's still hustling people for a check. Like everybody see it. Like the game did. It was a couple of games where like they beat Denver, but then that was like you ain't gonna get them props. But it was a lot of games they should have won. The only reason he probably starting is because the Sam Ellinger dude was just, I guess he's some cut or whatever. But if they had a better dude, they would definitely start that dude over Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan ain't look like, you look at this, the box score tell you what he did. What his ass do? Fucking 182 yards. And that's the reason. So this, he got two of the greatest comebacks on his play. He is the dude that was the reason for that. You feel me? Like, they got Pittman, you know what I'm saying? They got some solid ass tight ends. They got Grayson, they got Woods, they got Allie Cox, you know what I'm saying? They got Pittman, they got who they got? Who else they got? I mean, Campbell. I ain't gonna really say Campbell ain't really shit, but they got, aside from the wide receivers, they tight ends is good enough to where if they force feed them every week, they can come up with 30 games. If the quarterback was any good though, there's no way you're not supposed to be picking up no third downs, and you was dogging this team. You feel Minnesota don't got the greatest defense. That's why you gave up the points, because their defense don't really stop shit until yesterday. And yesterday that was the fucking where their defense rose up and was getting the Colts off the field. He allowed the momentum to swing and shit. So it's like, I don't know. He got bad shit on him. And I mean, you'll have him, but as far as like a starter, I mean, I saw him the other week. He was saying either Pittman or somebody, like, he was saying something like they was some shit because they couldn't catch the ball. And was it against Pittsburgh, right? Yeah, because Pittsburgh won the game, and you could see like they had a sound bite of him like going off on one of the receivers. He trying to put it on the receivers, which some of the receivers are kind of like B-level guys, but he got tight ends where them tight ends could do some work. You look at third downs. Yesterday it was Minnesota was 5 of 15, and the Colts was 6 of 19, and probably most of they misses came in the second half. Like, most of the Vikings non-conversions came in the first half, but most of the conversions out of the 19 that out of was missed was in the second half. You know what I'm saying? They both was over on fourth down. Colts ran 79 plays to the Vikings 86 plays, and Vikings had 19 drives to the Colts 16 drives. And so fucking Colts Vikings, hold on now. I gotta look at that stat again. I gotta look at that because that shit don't even look right. Yeah, like they wasted a performance. The Colts had 7 sacks and shit. Yeah, the shit say 7 sacks. Fucking, they had 7 sacks, 2 interceptions, a couple of fumble recoveries, and they lost the fucking game. like, like you looking at the shit. I was like, I had to look that shit over right quick. I'm like, they had 7 sacks with a couple of defensive touchdowns, and they lost the game. That shit don't even happen in Madden, man. Like, if you down on a computer by 30 something points, man, computer don't even let up on the gas until maybe the fourth quarter and shit. But they gonna still try to hang support on you because they thinking you sweet. So the Colts, man, this I don't know how they gonna shake this shit, because you had 7 sacks, man. Like, that's a hell of a performance by the defense, man. Like, what more did you want them to do? I guess, but that was if we only played for a half and shit. 7 sacks, but they were still getting sacks in the second half. 11 QB hits. Because they were saying in the coverage that Kirk Cousins gets hit the most or whatever. So they hit him 11 times, and they lost because the quarterback only threw it for 182 yards. They ran the ball for 171. That's good enough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though you thought that, yeah, maybe they wasn't gonna do shit because Taylor went out, but they were still certain. Zach Moss, he had a 24 for 81, and Deion Jackson, he had 13 for 55, and Pittman had he ran for 30. So they was pretty solid as far as that tip. Um, receiving the ball, targets. Pittman had 14 targets. He caught 10 for 60. And that was it. Everybody else only had one or two catches behind them. And yeah, like I'm still looking at shit. They had fucking 7 sacks, man. That's like one of the better. I mean, I think, yeah, I haven't seen a team. I don't think I gotta look, but 7 sacks I think that's one of the a team high though for the year as far as like on the opposite team. Like they had 7 sacks. Yeah, too. That's why like the defensive coordinator even gonna look like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like what, like how did the game swing so fast like that? But then you credit the Vikings, man. The Vikings, last year they was losing a lot of games. Like this year, they like I think they 10-0 after yesterday. They 10-0 in one score games. You know what I'm saying? So they know how to make plays in the clutch, especially if it's one of them back and forth type of games. So you had Cousins, he had 2 interceptions, he had 4 touchdowns, he was 34, 54, 460. He almost had a 5 piece on them boys. Damn. Cook, he had 17 carries for 95. So they ain't really run the ball. It was all we slicing and dicing your ass on that pass, and that's what they was doing. Osborne killing shit. You feel me? 10 for 157, 1 touchdown, sit on 16 targets. Then JJ, he like, yo, if you go feed him, you gotta feed me too. And so he get his 16 targets. He did 12 for 123 in the touch. And then Cook, he had that 64-yarder with the touch. He had 495. He almost had over 100 on 4 targets. And then Thielen, he had his touch, but he only had 3 for 41. And Hawkinson gave 33. So they passing game. If they get that shit pumping, they're gonna be hard to stop. You feel me? You gonna have, and it's not like they was doing this on, I ain't gonna say Colts is the top tier defense, but they got people on the outside. Gilmore was on JJ most of the game, and he was freaking them. Like that one play where he scored the touchdown in the third quarter, he hit you with the like shit, like he did a fucking crossover type of move, and kind of split his ankles and shit. That's why Gilmore pieced him up in the later in either that quarter or the fourth quarter, but he pieced him up because he still remember, like, yeah, dude, split your ankles up and something terrible. And so it was it was like shit, man. Minnesota didn't really get many sacks. They only had 3 sacks, and they had seven QB hits. But they kind of was, as far as when you say situational football, that's what they was doing more so in the third quarter and fourth quarter. Just get them off the field, and then after a few times of you just you know not scoring, thinking like, oh yeah, our because he looking like, yeah, our defense is sacking their ass and shit. He thinking like, yeah, it's like ain't no way they gonna come. That's what you tell yourself as you in the midst of it. Ain't no way they gonna just keep scoring these touchdowns and we ain't gonna score no touch. But then you could tell they getting tight and shit. It was a couple of times with Matt Ryan, you could see he was lost. He was looking to the left, looking to the right, and he didn't trust that he could make that pass. And then that's when I guess a dude, I remember that one play, that play in particular I was talking about. I remember, I think Kendricks came up the gap, and I think he hit him. But yeah, that shit was some crazy shit to watch. And you like, these boys spotted these folks 33 damn points. Like 33 points. Like the Vikings now, they done had that game versus Buffalo, which was a classic. And it's gonna be probably it's probably a top 5 game. of the year. And then they threw this other demo right here. Man, like I said, they gonna be a problem. They in there. They gonna be in there with like I said, the top dogs is the dogs of the NFC. You know, Dallas, Philly, 49ers. And you gotta, I know people say just thinking Cousins, man, he gonna choke this shit away. But with this shit in the back of his head, he gonna fucking like his chances versus them other boys and shit. You feel me? And then because one of them gonna have to play in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? If Minnesota win that first week, one of them gonna have to play in Minnesota, especially if they keep fucking winning and get that second seed. So yeah, much props to them. That was a hell of game, you know, historical ass game. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people gonna be talking about this game for like years to come, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's gonna be, you know, it wasn't Patrick Mahomes that did it. It wasn't Peyton Manning that did it. It wasn't Big Ben who did it. It wasn't John Elway, Steve Young, Troy Aikman. You know what I'm saying? You could go through the list of all Eli Manning, you know what I'm saying? Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees. It wasn't none of them who did it because any of them was down 30. They lost. It was motherfucking Kirk Cousins that came back from 30 points down. Crazy shit, man. But yeah, that's all I got on it, man. Thanks for listening.